The next game, we are going to actually have a rematch because Pulse is going to use their revive on Abstinence.
For those of you who are not aware of the revive rule, if a team is on match point, the opposing team is able to bring back one of their players if they had already been knocked out in the tournament or in the match to play again. So Abstinence is the one who's being revived, so it will be a rematch between Abstinence and Schnitzel. So we'll see how this goes. Is if Abstinence is able to pull this out, he must be feeling confident that he can make a turnaround. If that game could have gone either way, feels like he could have potentially unseated Schnitzel there, but we'll see in this next match if he's able to do it.
Yeah, so the score going into game number 8 is going to be 4 for StarCraft Ascension and 3 for Pulse. Need 5 to win, best of 9 configuration here. Just also want to remind everyone to stay tuned after our cast tonight, as we're going to have both team captains joining us, both from Pulse and StarCraft Ascension, so it'll be cool to hear from them, to hear their thoughts about the match, the league, and everything that's going on as moving forward. So it's going to be cool, as I think we're ready to move into this game number 8.
Yes, we are. I'm just bad-mouthing you in the chat at the moment.
See that.
You're talking. No problem. You know, you got to have caster brotherhood and stability and strength.
I now disown you as my stepbrother.
Hey.
I don't care about you. Now we're going into this game. Top right-hand corner. We've got our blue Terran player. He was killed last game, revived from the dead to have a rematch against his opponent. His name is Abstinence.
And in the top left-hand corner, trying to defend himself in a rematch game against Abstinence, representing Team StarCraft Ascension, it is Schnitzel.
Of course, right away, Monster deciding to leave the game. He said, I'm done with this. I'm moving on. Of course, Monster was the opponent from Pulse in Game 1, who lost his first game, not wanting to see his teammates through, I guess. It's okay.
Maybe he had somewhere to be. He had to wash his hair or something.
There you go. That's a good plan.
That's
Always
right.
have to have the hair washed.
Mm-hmm. So last time we did see near mirror builds out of these two players. It'll be interesting to see if we see similar builds this time, or if somebody tries something a little bit cheeky to try and get under the skin of the other player.
Someone talking about Twitter in chat. I think people are obsessed with Twitter just because it's really cool to get notifications.
They like those emails saying somebody has tweeted at you.
I don't know, my phone makes a cool separate noise when someone does something on Twitter. So since that was brought up, why don't you follow at WingNetSC, at Galligation, at SC2CTL, so you can keep in touch with us, keep in touch with our casts, and as the league moves forward, it's been a fun time so far, and it will prove to be even more fun in the future. Both players have barracks going down. Abstinences is slightly farther ahead than Schnitzel's. Schnitzel is already mining gas. He's mined about 50 from his geyser, while Abstinence's geyser is just finishing. So pretty similar builds, as Schnitzel did get his gas earlier last game too. Abstinence scouting to the lower right first. Now he's going to be going across to the other side. See if third time's the charm, or if he decides to go right up the center. Looks like he's going to know where to go. Cross positions, definitely a bit easier as far as drops being less of an issue. Yeah, fairly close by air up here at the top. So see what comes out. It's got a factory coming down from Schnitzel. Him getting gas earlier definitely allows him to get this factory down faster, which was the case last game as well.
Abstinence putting down a factory in a proxy position on the left-hand side of the map without really knowing exactly where his opponent is. So a little bit of a cheeky play here. We'll see if he's able to produce anything out of it.
Iba Newman saying these spawn positions are Imba and TVT. I definitely agree. They're pretty much Imba in every race. I actually think in the last WCS that this map was forced cross spawns, which is definitely a good thing.
You know, I got to question the idea of calling a mirror matchup on a map an Imba match, because if it's powerful, then it still benefits both players because they both can take the same advantage.
That's true. I do laugh at that sometimes when people say that. PvP is Imba, man.
And yet they do address it sometimes. I have to, you know, it does remind me of what Day 9 said regarding Magic the Gathering, that it's not imbalanced because everybody can use the same cards. I feel like it's a similar thing here.
Interested
Canceled.
to see what Abstinence got up his sleeve here. He's moving the factory into the third base of Schnitzel, putting a tech lab on it, but building a proxy armory now with his...
Is this just going to be a Thor rush?
Yeah, that's what this is looking like. A Wings of Liberty classic, the old Thor rush. Is Abstinence going to pull some SCVs to come up and support a Thor he pumps out of this factory?
That's quite the trek to get those over there. Hellion now moving out.
That's the only thing I can think of in this situation that would be a reason for doing this. I mean, the factory is sitting here idle now, but I used to lose to this almost universally in Wings of Liberty. If I didn't scout the early Thor rush, even from their base, it was pretty much an automatic loss. I think you have to do it proxy on this map, obviously, because it's so huge, but this is going to be fun to watch. I haven't seen this in literally forever. Although Schnitzel is coming out with the same thing, a cloaked Banshee rush. The Marines are going to be coming up to support this Thor, as it's about half done. A starport now. Abstinence. What do you got up your sleeve, man? Proxy starport coming down next to his factory.
It looks like he's going to try and drop that Thor right in the mineral line. But the Banshee is moving out now, and there is...
there's a turret going up in Abstinence's base.
So he must be smelling a similar play as the last time.
Problem is, though, there's
those SCVs moving forward to try and back up that Thor.
There's a turret, so he'll be detected, but there's nothing to actually really repel the Banshee. It could, on the outskirts, still do quite a bit of damage to the assimilators and stuff.
Oh,
but as this Thor moves up...
those Thors up! Get in there! SCVs do move in. Oh, but the Thor... Oh, okay.
The Thor walked
oh, no.
just on top of that supply depot just in time to prevent the raising of it. Oh, this is going to be nasty.
And everything gets pulled from Schnitzel. Those SCVs... moving in with the Marines, moving forward, just attack moving, targeting down that Raven. The turret does go down, and huge damage going down on that Thor by those
great job by Schnitzel to get those SCVs in there that actually pushed the SCVs of Abstinence away and didn't allow them to get a full repair surround on that.
And now
Thor.
that Banshee just able to take it out because there is no detection there, so that push really did not get a lot done.
Yeah, my gosh, that was an amazing defense by Schnitzel. Well played indeed, pulling all the SCVs off to get the surround on that Thor. Now a Raven's going to be coming out of that starport as he switches it to the tech lab. It's like it's going to be rallied right there. And not sure what he's thinking about this factory now, but there is a Marine and an SCV still hanging out. Schnitzel now going to be scouting around with that Banshee. Wow, this just really put Schnitzel in a good position, but at the moment, Abstinence's mining is a tad bit better than his opponents, especially in minerals and gas, actually.
And Abstinence did have a Marine going across the map that Hellion did intercept. I'm not sure that Schnitzel is...
I have to point out, interrupt you right now,
no problem.
The units lost for Abstinence are 1337.
Very important.
Hey, you don't see that every day.
But
actually, going through the statistics here, both players are fairly even right now. As far as units lost, income, on pretty much all respects, they're very even. So aside from the thing that's going to be uneven now is the fact that two of Abstinence's main production structures are halfway across the map as Schnitzel's moving out for an attack.
He has to do something right now. There's nothing there to defend. And this is going to be and there's not even a wall, so there's not going to be a lot here to deal with this push. I'm not. Was that SCV able to see that army moving forward? I'm not sure that it did.
Yeah, I don't think so. Man, Schnitzel's going to be moving up here. If he just sieges these tanks at the bottom and scans up the top, there's almost nothing there. As that orbital command is going to be down 4 Marines in the base. This is going to be disastrous for Abstinence. I mean, he does have a Thor, he does have a Raven and a Marine outside of Schnitzel's third base, but...
And Schnitzel is just brilliant to be moving out right now. Based on the unit composition that he saw in the push from Abstinence, he knows that there's not going to be a lot of units, and he just marches right up that map. Not even sieging those tanks. Now he's sieging them. The Marines targeting that barracks, going to start removing that production. The orbital command does raise up, and the Marines kind of hang out in the back of the base looking for the right positioning. But if those SCVs try and get out of the base, it's going to be a hard time. They're going to take huge losses trying to move out if they get anything out.
Yeah. This is just a great position for Schnitzel, taking advantage. He didn't even see actually where the proxies were, but I mean, he must have sniffed that both facilities are pretty close. Oh, the SCVs are going to take all the tank hits, and yeah, this is going to be the end for Abstinence. Expecting a GG here soon. Schnitzel wrapping this up in great fashion. You know, Abstinence, you got to give him credit for trying something creative, trying something different. You know, something we definitely haven't seen in a long time. I don't know about you, but I have not seen a proxy Thor rush in almost forever.
No, that's true, but Abstinence does have some interesting units on the other side of the map, and he's putting some heavy pressure on Schnitzel as well. It doesn't look like it's going to be as much damage as he is taking currently, but now those Banshees are moving back across the map to try and defend against what's over there.
Abstinence also now has a base that he's fully muled up here down just south of his as he's going to move in with his Banshee. And Raven and Thor, what can he do with this? It looks like Schnitzel has a tank and a handful of Marines here, but not a lot to defend. Most of his army's across the map. There is a Viking too.
But that Banshee is heavily damaged. But Thor is able to pick off those one of those Banshees. And now the second one goes down.
Oh, that point
defense drone. Second Thor joins the push, taking down those supply depots. Tanks and Marine from Schnitzel moving down, trying to see if they can find that other orbital command that they did see walk out of there.
Point defense drone finally out of energy. That means the Viking does get some shots in. This is definitely going to be a tough position for Abstinence because it's just the mobility of these guys with that Viking giving the tank full range to fire on the Thors. Obviously, Abstinence decides that he can't make that push in there, so pulls back.
And that's probably a smart move right now. Schnitzel's moving the rest of his army across the map, realizing that all he has to do is defend his main here, and he has this game won.
Yeah, now that Schnitzel's pulled all of his army back, it is going to be an easy seal up here once Abstinence decides what he does. Schnitzel looks like he gets a good scan in, sees exactly what's there. He's not even going to siege these tanks up, he's just going to go in full force to take out these Thors. Oh my god.
There. Good hit.
Great attack there by the Raven, taking out a good chunk of those Marines, but alas.
Good micro on that Thor. The one with the most health is still staying in there doing some damage, but the one does fall that he was microing. This Thor is going to get a lot cleaned up, though.
Yeah, Thor is going to be able to clean it up, but you know, Schnitzel is going to have the actual production capability to make more things here. Abstinence just doesn't. If we look at income, Abstinence is only mining 300 gas per minute, while Schnitzel is almost tripling that.
And while Thors are good, they are very gas heavy, so he's going to have a hard time producing out of that one factory that he has.
Yeah, I think the factory is the only building that's left now for Abstinence.
Ooh,
Abstinence
units popping out for Schnitzel just as Abstinence was walking up the ramp. He does see those popping out, and he decides to get out of there. He has lost the moment. The SCV is moving forward to repair the Thor, though. Trying to maintain.
Abstinence was building a command center in his main, but he just canceled that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Schnitzel's Banshee moving forward does cloak. There is no Raven to detect it.
I don't even think he has a... He does have an orbital command, but it doesn't have enough energy for a scan at the moment.
Well, with a low SCV count, he can't afford to save that energy for scans. He has to use it for mules, and that Banshee's just picking off those SCVs.
Yeah, Abstinence finally finds this SCV that's on a
and
strange path, and that was GG. Abstinence finally realizing he can't do it, so that's going to seal the victory for StarCraft Ascension Schnitzel. The rematch between Abstinence and Schnitzel went the same way as the first time, but a great game both times. It was really cool to see a different type of build in TVT from Abstinence.
Absolutely, Abstinence really pulled out some interesting shenanigans to try and catch his opponent off guard. Schnitzel just had an amazing defense.
Hey, we just crossed 400 viewers right at the end. Well, hooray, hooray.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who just joined, we don't have any more matches, but we do have codes that you can enter to win some fruit snacks and a marble if you'd like. So we will repost those. It is Pulse and .SCAB.
Oops. Yeah.